So I came out to the garden and I see that this bean plant is broken off. I don't know if it was the kids or the chickens, but either way, it's broke. So I'm picking all the beans off of it, and then I'm hoping off of all my plants I get enough that I could actually can up a few jars of beans. So then I can show you the process for canning beans. So yeah, typically your plant isn't tipped over like this. I will show you on a regular plant that's not broken off how it goes. Nice sized beans. And so beans you're going to want to pick when the plants are dry, because otherwise the plants for some reason start to die. I don't know if it like rubs off oils off the leaves or what the deal is exactly, but yeah, always pick beans when they're dry. And I believe cucumbers are the same way. I've been told not to touch cucumber plants when they are wet. So try to stick by that rule. Or worst case, if you're going to touch them when they're wet, touch the back side of the leaves, not the tops. So this is my, this is my second picking. My first picking on a lot of these plants. I planted beans 3 times this year, and my one plant lived out of one of my first plantings, but most of these are from my third planting. And so most of these plants are on their first picking, and I have yellow. Sorry, getting my colors mixed up. Let's see, I have yellow beans and green beans this year. It's my first year planting yellow beans. So I'm kind of curious if I like the flavor of them and the texture and consistency. So far, I like the size of them a lot. They seem to stay straighter and more symmetrical compared to the green beans. Sometimes my green beans get kind of lumpy for some reason. And the yellow ones are actually kind of nice too, because they stick out on the plant a little bit more, versus the green ones seem to be, they just are like the same color as the stalk of the bean plant. So yeah, anyways, I guess that's all showing you on the picking. Very easy, straightforward. You do want to be a little bit delicate with the plants, because as you can tell, they do tip over in wind, and if you get aggressive with picking the beans. So I have to tell my daughter to be careful and hold the plant when she's picking so it doesn't break the plant. Okay, so I showed you how to pick them. Now I'm going to wash them. I'm laughing because I'm used to picking like a lot of beans. But I'm just going to give them a little rinse just to take any dirt off of them. And then I will snap them and put them in a bowl and put them in. Snapping is super easy. I like to do about that size, sometimes bigger. And then if they don't snap, these are all fresh and young, so they should all snap. But if they don't snap because they're big, I usually don't can those because they get kind of woody and yucky. So again, you can do basically like whatever size that you like eating. Like, that's fine. I mean, you could probably even leave them whole, but I like just smaller. sizes, bite size basically. Like this one's bigger, but it's still snapped, so it should not be woody when it's canned. But I like them when they're about this size, you know, when they're not too big. Sorry, my little one's talking away. When they're not too big, because then they're usually pretty tender and delicious. And so yeah, anyways, you're gonna some people cut the beans, but they just snap really well, and it's kind of fun to hear the snap. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna do all this and then fill my jars. All right, so you have your beans in your jar, and these are just the cold snapped beans, not cooked or anything. So 1 teaspoon of salt for quarts, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt for pints. And my recipe calls for boiling water. So you're gonna put that in. You're gonna fill it to about right there, leaving a 1/2 inch to inch of headspace. Then, hold that thought. Okay, so then you're gonna wipe your jar rims, or your, whatever those are. Check your lids, put those on, put your rings on, and go finger tight. 1 minute, honey. Finger tight. Your canner is filled with a couple inches of water. Then you put your jars in there, put your top on, and can it. Okay, this needs to vent for 7 to 10 minutes, it says in the book. So once it's been venting, then you're gonna put your jiggler on, and you're gonna let that go until it reaches your right amount. Okay, so then once it reaches 10 on the gauge, you're gonna set the timer for 25 minutes, and then at the end of 25 minutes, remove from heat, or shut your heat source off. My timer just went off, so I shut it off, and so now it's gonna sit like this until it releases all its pressure. When its pressure releases, this will go down, and then you can take the cover off.